The 2026 FIFA World Cup is now underway, kicking off an ambitious 23rd edition of the global tournament that has a rich history just shy of 100 years. In that span of time, there have been incredible mere seconds, minutes, goals, blocks, matches in FIFA World Cup tournaments, culminating to what it is today. Many of us, including myself, have very little, if not zero, knowledge of this past. So in this video, I will be exploring just a speck of this expansive, rich history, looking into a goal that is now called the Hand of God, or how one team revived a country, and then a 17-year-old breaking records that still hold today, hopefully giving you a deeper appreciation of the sport and what has come before, highlighting the amazing aspects of football and of sports. With the World Cup being 96 years old, there has been generations of players that have played during that time, with estimations of around 10,000 players over 80 countries. Brazil has been one of the most prestigious and well-known teams in World Cup history thanks to numerous amounts of star players. One player in that catalog is Edson Arantes do Nascimento, and most notably known by the nickname Pelé. Pelé still holds the record for being the youngest player to score a goal in the World Cup, score a goal in the World Cup final, and to win the World Cup, making him one of the most legendary players not only in Brazil history, but the World Cup and world history. At 17 years old, Pelé was a difference maker in the 1958 World Cup. The record-breaking game-winning goal came in the quarterfinal against Wales. After that, in the next round, he became the youngest to record a hat-trick against France, with the final score being 5-2, leading Brazil into the finals against Sweden, in which he scored 2 goals to lift Brazil to their first ever World Cup title. That was just the beginning of a legendary career where he would go on and win 2 more World Cups and leave behind an everlasting, powerful, impactful legacy. Pelé pushed the boundaries on what was thought to be possible, being a teenage phenom, helping a struggling team break through. The beginning and the totality of his career shows the amount of impact, the lasting impact one player can have. It's one of the great things about sports and football, soccer, the World Cup, is the reach. A reach that can transcend generations, help empower countries, and even revive countries, as we saw in the 1954 World Cup with the Miracle of Bern. The Miracle of Bern simply is a true underdog story, revolving around a team that came together from a broken country. At that time, Germany was struggling to rebuild and find itself after the devastation and ramifications from World War II. In 1945, there was around millions of people who were homeless with destroyed homes and a collapsed economy. But slowly, Germany took steps forward, accepting what had happened and moving forward for the better. And the West Germany team was a pivotal piece in that process. Through everything, the coach was Sepp Herberger, who had the challenge of finding players. What he did was find semi-pro players who had fought in the war and who were working ordinary jobs to form the team. Sepp didn't lock in on tactics or formations, but what he truly focused on and formed the team around was one simple principle. That principle was spirit of spies. Basically just preaching that he focused on the connections players had with one another into unbreaking perseverance. That principle, paired with what they went through, earned them into the finals against Hungary, aka the Golden Team, who had been undefeated for 4 years and just beat West Germany in the group stage 8-3. The Golden Team was highly favored, and after just 8 minutes, Hungary led 2-0. Yet, spirit speaks. West Germany recovered swiftly, eventually equalizing it and then taking the lead and winning. It was a transcending moment for Germany, and many people believe it was the catalyst for a new beginning and to build what Germany is now today. There are literal academic studies that have looked at and explored the impact that this team had on Germany. Writer Friedrich Christian Delius wrote, quote, "A guilt-ridden, uninhabited nation was suddenly reborn." The train that carried the players back home was even stopped multiple times on its journey back home, with fans getting in the way, getting on the tracks to stop and congratulate and celebrate with the players. Like Pelé, this story reveals the true beauty and power that rests within sports and the World Cup, mainly sourced from the human players playing on the pitch, who bring to life incredible moments, from sneaky cheating to unbelievable goals. Exactly what Maradona's masterclass was all about in the 1986 World Cup. The quarterfinal game in the 1986 World Cup that had Argentina go up against England was historic for many reasons. At that time, the Falklands War was very recent, creating a unique buzz and anticipation for this match. Then you also have the one player that scored 2 goals that are still remembered to this day. Diego Maradona shined in the matchup, scoring 2 of the most iconic goals in World Cup history in the span of just 4 minutes. The score was 0-0 at halftime, but at the 52nd minute mark, Maradona scored what is now referred to as the hand of God. So discreet that the ref did not see it, but some people did, and it was a highly controversial goal. But then just right after that deceitful, controversial goal, Maradona followed that up with one of the most iconic goals in World Cup history. I mean, it's named the goal of the century. An incredible goal, splitting multiple defenders and finessing the goalie. I mean, just peak athleticism and just expertise in that sport. And those 2 goals would end up being the deciding factor in the match. 2 memorable, iconic goals just in the span of 4 minutes by the same player. An absolutely incredible World Cup moment, especially with how pivotal and iconic those goals are. So there the 3 stories are, and again, this is just a tiny drop of the rich history of the World Cup that has helped build it to what it is recognized today, and helped build it to the 2026 World Cup, and where this year's games will eventually add to this rich history very, very fast. All 3 of these stories show the level of impact the players on the pitch, the teams, the individual matches, and the World Cup as a whole has on the world, and where it can bring people together, showing that we can compete against one another, improving each other for the better. It shows that the World Cup can heal. It can bring countries together and inspire younger generations to push the sport in a world into a better place. It also goes to show that the World Cup has been played in some turbulent times. And if you look at our present times, it's also, not that, it's not a peaceful time that we live in right now. It is a time of high hostility and divisiveness, and where it's very important for an event like this to happen, and where it can show the undeniable similarities between every single country and the differences. And I think it's cool that no matter what, whether it's different leaders or just different times that try to separate, different things that try to separate humans and countries, there's something so simple. A game, a pitch, a soccer field, a football field with a soccer ball to bring so many people together. So I'm excited to watch the World Cup this year, and to see these exciting games, and to see the exciting storylines, the exciting teams find their stride, and to see who wins it all. And at the end of the day, see the positive impact of the games and hopefully see the positive impacts that come through this year's 2026 World Cup games. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the World Cup. Peace.